So a few of the news items that came in, we read them out to you, then we continue with the program. Apapa Customs Command engages newly promoted officers in leadership training. The Apapa Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has engaged its newly promoted senior officers in the task of quality leadership dispensation for effective operations. The move, which is seen as a significant step towards enhancing the leadership skills of the unit heads, is in line with the aspirations of the Comptroller General of Customs, CGC, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi. Area Controller of the Command, Comptroller Emmanuel Oshoba, during the week, welcomed the Deputy and Assistant Controllers to the special training program aimed at preparing them for higher responsibilities. In his opening remarks, Comptroller Oshoba congratulated the officers on their promotions, emphasizing that it was a testament to their hard work and dedication to the service. He said that with their new roles, greater expectations from the leadership of the NCS as well as the Nigerian public must be met. Comptroller Oshoba stressed that they must demonstrate higher levels of discipline, excellence, and accountability to justify their higher callings of duty. The Nigerian Customs Service is undergoing transformation drive aimed at repositioning its operations for efficiency, transparency, and global competitiveness. Hence, customs operations have become increasingly knowledge-driven, powered by technology and innovation, designed to simplify procedures and enhance trade facilitation, he noted. The Customs Chief cited key modernization initiatives, including the Advanced Ruling System, Time Release Study, Authorized Economic Operator AOE program, and the one-stop shop mechanism as examples of the service's commitment to reform, which the newly promoted officers are expected to imbibe. In order to effectively carry out their new responsibilities, the CAC urged the officers to familiarize themselves with these modern tools and utilize them to enhance compliance, efficiency, and risk management. He cautioned that despite these efforts, there are still cases of non-compliance, either from ignorance or deliberate circumvention of procedures. Hence, the new crop of officers must be vigilant and use technology smartly for risk assessment and enforcement. Comptroller Oshoba advised the participants to maximize the training opportunity by engaging in open discussions, exchanging ideas, and networking to strengthen teamwork and leadership skills across various commands. The newly promoted officers, some of whom will be posted as unit heads, will be entrusted with sensitive duties, including the custodianship of release passwords and supervision of junior officers. To this end, Comptroller Oshoba emphasized that they must uphold the principle of justice, honesty, and transparency, which are core values of the service. He reiterated that capacity building remains a major priority under the leadership of the Comptroller General. The Customs Management is committed to developing human capital as a strategy component, adding that an informed workforce is the foundation of sustainable reform. Comptroller Oshoba commended the facilitators of the participants, expressing confidence that the service would equip the officers with the necessary skills to excel in their new roles. That's a very good one for the Nigerian Customs Service, the Apapa Command. Of course, a whole lot of them are these days very happy that their promotions are coming as when due, unlike in the past. We have Mr. Oga Chinedu here, Mr. Kevin Chinedu Okechukwu. He's our guest at the studio. Mr. Okechukwu, what do you think about the activities of Nigerian Customs Service, especially APA Command, that we're welcoming the newly promoted officers?
It's a good one. It's a one in the right direction because promotion encourages the officers to do better and to do more. It shows that they are being appreciated, that their hard work is being appreciated. So it's in the right direction.
Thank you so very much, sir. Now, another news item we have here. Comptroller Otunla, whose retirement ceremony applauds officers' outstanding performance. Okay. 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 The Customs Area Controller, one area commander of the Nigerian Customs Service, Controller Godwin Otunla, has celebrated the retirement of 49 officers of the command, describing them as exemplary patriots who serve the nation with distinction and integrity. The event held at the Idiroko Border Command Headquarters was graced by stakeholders, journalists, and junior officers who gathered to honor the departing personnel for their years of meritorious service to the Nigerian Customs Service and to the country. Speaking at the event, Comptroller Otunla said that the send forth ceremony was organized to recognize and appreciate the invaluable contributions of the retiring officers. On behalf of the Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, MFR, we decided that our retiring officers, about 49 of them, the highest being a deputy controller, should not just live quietly. With the support of our stakeholders, we chose to give them a befitting send forth celebration, he said. I'm sorry. The Nigerian Customs Service, he said, I want to sincerely appreciate the leadership and management team of the Nigerian Customs Service and our area controller, Otunla, whose guidance, mentorship, and commitment to excellence has inspired many of us through our careers. Sir, your encouragement and unwavering support has made this journey a rewarding one. I'm deeply grateful. To my colleagues and subordinates, I say thank you for the teamwork, cooperation, and friendship that made every challenge surmountable. Together we have shared the long days, long duties, tough duties, and proud moments that will remain with me forever, said one of the retiring officers. I'm particularly humbled and honored by the recognition and award bestowed upon me today. This means a lot to me, not just as a symbol of my service, but as a reminder that diligence, integrity, and dedication never go unnoticed. As I retire, I carry with me beautiful memories, valuable lessons, and a heart full of gratitude. I wish the service continued success and greater achievements under the visionary leadership of our Comptroller General of Customs and the entire management team. He continued. The ceremony ended with presentation of plaques, cultural displays, and tributes from colleagues and stakeholders, all applauding the retirees for their years of distinguished service to the nation. Mr. Okechukwu, this is another one. The Badagry, the Ogun 1 Command of the Nigerian Customs Service, the Diroko, under the leadership of Comptroller Otunla, he had to do a send forth party for the retiring officers. I think it's a good one for them, for the morale of those who are still in service, and the means of appreciating them for their long service to the Nigerian Customs Service and the nation. Don't you think so, sir?
Yeah, yes. I think it's a good one also because the ones in service, if they're announcing that their colleagues that are departing are treated well, they will now have hope that when they leave the custom, they have something to fall back on. Yeah. So it's a good one also.
Very commendable one. Another item of interest in the course of the week is this. CP Toyin Agbaminoja deepens the interagency collaboration with visits to Nigerian Customs Service Apapa, the PTML, and the Tinkan commands. The newly appointed Commissioner of Police, Ports Authority Police, that's Western Command, Commissioner of Police Toyin Agbaminoja, has commenced a familiarization tour of key formations and stakeholders in the nation's maritime industry, reaffirming her commitment to stronger interagency collaboration for safer and more efficient ports. In a statement released by the command spokesperson, ASP Isaac Hundeyin, CP Agbaminoja's tour covered the Apapa Area Command, the PTML Area Command, and the Tinkan Island Port Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service. The visits, held between October 29 and 30, 2025, were part of the strategic engagement efforts aimed at deepening synergy between the Nigerian Police and the Nigerian Customs Service. At each command, CP Agbaminoja was warmly received by Comptroller E.O. Oshoba Apapa, Comptroller J.A. Anani PTML, and Comptroller F.O. Onyeka Tinkan Island Command, alongside their management teams. Discussion centered on enhancing security collaboration, intelligence sharing, and coordinated operations to combat smuggling, cargo theft, and other maritime-related crimes. The police commissioner commended Customs Service for their steadfast commitment to protecting Nigeria's economic interests, and assured them of continued police support in ensuring a safe and orderly port environment. She emphasized that effective interagency cooperation and information sharing remain vital to tackling emerging security threats within the Nigerian Maritime Corridor. In their separate remarks, the Customs Controllers applauded CB Agbaminaja's proactive and inclusive leadership approach, pledging their unwavering cooperation with the police to advance shared security and operational goals. The visit concluded with the interactive strategic sessions, where both agencies discussed new frameworks for improved coordination, joint patrols, and sustained stakeholder engagement across the western ports. Through these engagements, CP Agbaminaja signaled her resolve to foster a secure, business-friendly maritime environment that supports legitimate trade and strengthens Nigeria's position in global port operations. Mr. Okechukwu, this is another one. The newly lifted CP, that's the Commissioner of Police, Agbaminaja, for the Western ports, went on a visit or tour of some commands under her area. I think this one is a good one for interagency cooperation and collaboration. Don't you think so, sir?
Yeah, the custom and police, they have to work hand in hand to maintain security in the port corridors. Yeah, especially the maritime police. They have a lot to do for security reasons and to make sure that goods are protected.
Yeah.
And make sure that criminals don't infiltrate the ports.
It's a good one. Another item of interest over the week was this troubling one. Apapa gridlock returns as truckers flood port access roads. Alleged syndicate profits from chaos. This is another serious one. I thought we had dealt. This issue of traffic chaos has become a thing of the past. But let's read on.
But let me interject. But you remember the last time I came here, I told you that the so-called clearing of the port corridor is just a scam. I told you that why it looked as if to say the corridors are clear is because business was so low then. Whenever business and importation booms, you find out that they did not do anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's read on that.
Remember?
Yeah. You said something like that. Let's read on. The notorious traffic gridlock that once crippled Apapa and its environs is gradually resurfacing, threatening to paralyze movement and port operations once again. Despite previous interventions, residents, commuters, and port workers are now facing renewed evening congestion as truckers and tankers swarm the port access routes daily. Investigation by the Network of Nigerian Maritime Journalists (NNMJ) revealed that while Apapa roads remain relatively free during the day, a long trail of trucks begins forming by evening from both the Costain and Mile 2 entry points. From the Jora Olokpa Bridge to Apapa and from Coconut Bus Stop to Tinkan Island Gates, trucks line up in droves, allegedly paying between 30,000 naira and 50,000 naira to secure a spot in the queue. Wow. Sources allege that some officials of key agencies, including the Nigerian Ports Authority, the Nigerian Shippers Council, the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, Federal Road Safety Corps, and the Nigerian Police, are complicit in the illegal toll collection, turning a blind eye as the situation worsens. The most affected areas include Wharf Road, Warehouse Road, Commercial Road, Belma Road, and Creek Road. By 5 p.m., vehicle owners often abandon their cars and resort to motorcycles to escape the gridlock, while their car out of the affected areas. By 5 p.m., vehicle owners often abandon their cars and resort to motorcycles to escape the gridlock, while their car out of the affected areas before they close to work daily. Moses Fadikpe, former national coordinator of the Port Standing Task Team, that's PSTT, attributed the resurgence to the return of vested interests who previously profited from the chaos. He noted that the Lagos state government knows what steps to take to prevent a full-blown crisis. Martin Enebeli, president of the Nigerian Institute of Shipping (NIS) and the Nigerian Licensed Ship Chandlers Association (NILCA), blamed government insincerity for the collapse. He urged authorities to prioritize rail transportation for cargo evacuation from Lagos ports and revive eastern and delta ports to ease pressure on Apapa. Bonded terminals should be relocated far from the ports and connected by rail. Government must stop concentrating port operations in the west while neglecting other regions, Enebeli stated. A senior official speaking anonymously confirmed that a syndicate involving both state and non-state actors is profiting from the tolls collected from truckers, exacerbating the traffic situation. Stakeholders are calling for urgent federal intervention to dismantle the alleged racketeering network and restore sanity to Apapa's transport corridors. Mr. Okechukwu, this is worrisome.
Very, very.
If this comes up again, as in the traffic, what we experienced about 4 or 5 years ago comes up again, it's going to be real chaos.
But I thought it would come back. Only that will not be as worse as it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Because of the mended roads.
Reason being that the roads are good now, so it will not be as worse as it used to be before. And the economy is coming back. The dollar has come down, so all those things will increase the rate of importation, and the export is booming also. So there will be a lot of activities in the coming months, honestly. Our Nigerian business is also seasonal. Most of our export is agricultural products.
Yeah.
They're harvesting them now, so there's boom in exports now. Exports have season. Okay. Whether I like it or not, this is export season, and this is also import season. So it will be like that till January or February before it starts easing.
That's quite grim. I mean, it's, I remember there was some years back, I was trying to move from Apapa to between Apapa and Mile 2. I think we spent about 4 or 5 hours. We a distance of about 2-3 kilometers.
Yes, that one lasted for years. It lasted for almost 3 years because then the road was so bad, and the dollar was so cheap at 450 naira. A lot of import was going on because of the cheap dollar. The road was so bad, so it lasted for 3 years. But this time around, it will not last for 3 years. Maybe in the next 4 or 5 months, it will ease again. Once the rain starts falling,
let's hope so.
It will ease again.
Okay.
So that's what I'm telling you. When the PPT or what they call them themselves say that they have cleared the road, when they are boasting they have cleared the road, they have done magic. I thought they did nothing. It was because the business was down and the road was good. Okay. When the business come up, the thing will still come up. DTP have done nothing. I'm telling you, it's just a scam as far as I'm concerned.
The network of Nigerian maritime journalists, they suggested that the bonded terminals should be relocated away from the ports. And then, of course, this recurring issue of intermodal transportation, develop the barging system, develop the rail system. Why can't the government listen to it? They travel abroad and see these things the way they work. Why can't they replicate these things here in Nigeria?
They should do more on the rail system.
Yeah.
Yes, so that the rail can evacuate most of the containers. And they will not do the clearing in bonded terminals that are far away from the port. And they should also, just like somebody suggested, build more ports, especially the eastern ports.
So we have ports in the eastern and the delta ports.
They have to invest in them. They need money. They need to invest in those ports so that Lagos will not be having the problem we used to have now.
Okay.
TTP cannot help us. It's only these two things that will help.
Okay. Let's move on. Why Nigeria needs to reposition freight forwarding practice in line with international standard, CEREC. The Sea Empowerment and Research Center, CEREC, has stressed the need for Nigeria to reposition the freight forwarding profession to be in line with international standards. Head of research of the group, forwarder Eugene Nweke, explained that repositioning the profession will not only bring about national good, but also make the country stronger in International Federation of Freight Forwarders Associations, FIATA. For once, Nigeria must downplay politics and lackluster attitudes towards the development and advancement of the freight forwarding logistics profession. It's time to get seriously and reposition the profession for national good, Nweke said. He explained that a stronger Nigerian fighter engagement could yield greater influence on global policy, adding that Nigeria can push priorities for Africa, West Africa in global forums. Nweke identified other benefits such as access to capacity building and technical support, adoption of international standards, training, digital tools, attract partnership and funding, international development agencies, trade facilitators may see Nigeria as a credible partner, improve competitiveness of Nigerian forwarding logistics firms globally. Regional leadership. Nigeria could become a global hub, not just for itself but for the sub-region, using FIATA networks. Noting that Nigeria's principal regulatory coordinating body for freight forwarding is the Council for the Regulation of Freight Forwarding in Nigeria, CRFN, established by the Act number 16 of 2007. Nweke said the regulatory body's mandate includes developing and enforcing standards of competence and professional conduct, training, registering freight forwarders, and linking with international bodies. He equally added that while FIATA Nigeria Nigeria country page shows a significant number of individual member companies in Nigeria, that's freight forwarders, logistic firms, under the Nigerian listing, but added that some years back, media commentary was that Nigeria's freight forwarding sector was knocking CRFFN over what was seen as institutional deficiencies. Part of the issues was CRFFN failure to register Nigeria properly with FIATA or meet participation standards. In 2022, there was reporting that Nigeria risks being evicted, delisted from FIATA if formal complaint is lodged due to the delinquency or non-compliance of its national freight forwarding body. As far back as 2011, conflicts between NAGAF, National Association of Nigerian Government Approved Freight Forwarders, and CRFFN. NAGAF reportedly challenged CRFFN membership standing in FIATA, calling for suspension or independent inquiry. These tensions suggest that Nigeria's participation in FIATA has not always been smooth or fully effective. Nweke in his statement added, Nigeria has a large economy and is a major trade hub in West Africa. The freight logistics flows, imports, exports, transit, regional trade give many practitioners experience and skill. There exists a regulatory body, that's CRFFN, with a legal backing, giving structure and legitimacy as opposed to purely voluntary associations. The presence of many freight forwarding firms that are FIATA individual members shows active grassroots interest by FIATA Nigeria. He went on and on and on and on about the benefits of having our engagement with FIATA really strengthened, and he talked about compliance and membership maintenance. Risk of non-compliance with FIATA's membership policy requirements, e.g., duties, reporting, participation, may expose Nigeria to delisting or suspension, as hinted in the media. Lack of clarity within whether CRFFN always keeps Nigeria's membership valid and active. The 2020 criticism suggests lapses and low representation in FIATA leadership. It says that Nigeria has seldom, if ever, occupied one of the top leadership roles. That's the vice president or on extended board chairs of FIATA regional bodies. So commands less direct influence in decision making. Without leadership presence, Nigeria's priorities may not get as much attention on the global FIATA agenda. So what Dr. Eugene Nweke here is basically saying is that we should strengthen our relationship. That's the CRFFN, which is a body for the regulation of freight forwarding in Nigeria, should try as much as possible to play the role it's supposed to play to strengthen our relationship with the international body, the FIATA. And I think it will be a good one, because it's also saying there are so many benefits derivable there. When Nigeria becomes maybe the head or the vice president of any international association. It's of great benefit to the nation.
No, it's a great benefit to the nation. It will even give foreigners confidence to do business with Nigerians and Nigerians in general. So it's of great benefit because businesses have to do with confidence. If people have confidence in you, they can trust their money with you. They can go to do business with you and sleep soundly.
Good one. Then lastly, I just want to touch on this a little bit. I was at an event over the weekend. I think on Friday. A book launch and a celebration, 20th anniversary celebration of the Baggage magazine, and the paper was presented. It was talking about since we are talking about this is the Maritime and Border Show, the Badagry, its role historically and the present realities of Nigeria. Let me read a little bit of what the paper that was presented by Mr. Okeregbu, the editor-in-chief for the Baggage magazine. It says, protocols. Badagry is a coastal town and a local government area in Lagos State, Nigeria. It is quite close to the city of Lagos and located in the north bank of Port Novo Creek, an inland waterway that connects Lagos to the Beninese political capital of Port Novo. The same route connects the Lagos, Ilaro, and Port Novo and shares the border with the Republic of Benin at Semekrake. Badagry was a British trading post which was established there in the 1820s, and Badagry developed as a palm oil port for Egbaland to the north and as an importer of European cloth. In the 1830s, it attracted freed slaves from Freetown, Sierra Leone, and in 1842, it became the site for the first European mission. With her large harbor landscape, the ancient kingdom has every attribute for greater economic potentials, with large agricultural and fishery options to trade routes, tourism, and a once upon a time slave colony. Badagry has every reason to be endowed with economic opportunities. The kingdom is mapped as tourism divisions in Lagos and left for historians, students, and the people of these areas as laboratories of yesterday's dreams and abodes for cemeteries of dead imperialists and colonialists who buffeted these places, raped the land, and carried away the founding human resources and left Badagry as a ghost land. The Badagry as a viable economic hub for the promotion and development of tourism, oil and gas, and maritime economies must prepare the minds of the indigenes to the emerging new investments in tourism, oil and gas, and maritime investment. How many people own properties and investment in Badagry, Lagos, Nigeria? Do we know that Badagry is the best investment zone in Africa with great returns on investment? These are untold accounts written by scholars in the history of Badagry. So he also went on to talk about the fact that the border should be fully opened. Let me read a bit of that. Some of the borders are officially opened. The foremost semi-border, which reopening was celebrated by critical stakeholders in the maritime industry of both countries of Nigeria and Republic of Benin, woke up one morning only to realize that it's not yet Uhuru. On what could be regarded as a partial reopening, Benin Republic struck a gold mine with the landlocked countries of Burkina Faso, Chad, and Niger. Republic diverting their transit goods, which hitherto were going through Nigeria through Benin Republic. Meanwhile, the transit movement Nigerians were enjoying, which was an erroneous violation, was brought to stop. This affected goods coming from Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Togo to pass through Benin to Nigeria. It's a clear indication that no single person holds the sole monopoly or franchise of being wicked. When President Patrice Talon of Niger Republic was shuttling between Cotonou and Abidjan, pleading for President Buhari to reopen the borders, President Buhari, refused. It is considered a payback time. The administration of the present Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, has done very much to revive the trade in this line without compromising. Now, he talked about access roads. One major index of social change and development today, especially in Africa, is infrastructure. Infrastructural development, as particularly epitomized by the construction of roads and bridges. No nation can boast of having achieved development if a large percentage of her roads are impassable. It is therefore in an effort to ensure even an accelerated development and in all parts of Lagos that the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration places high premium on infrastructural development. That the deplorable state of the road had been a cause for concern to the millions of road users and residents in this corridor is to state the obvious. It will be recalled that the road Eric Moore Badagry was conceptualized by the Lagos State government in 1974 and constructed by the federal government in 1977 to interconnect all countries of the West African sub-region as agreed upon by the Economic Community of West African States. So he went on and on and on and on to talk about a few other things, why Badagry is a viable area for business and why the neglect that has been suffering for years in spite of her historical antecedents we should revive the economy of the area and bring in investors, because this a man who has lived in that area for, like he said, about 20 years is more or less like an indigenous of Badagry who is writing about what should be done to revive the economy of Badagry and then take it to the level that's supposed to be as one of the foremost towns in the history of this country when it comes to trade, when it comes to tourism, when it comes to innovation and opening up to the world. It's the first place where the first mission in Nigeria was built, and the first upstairs we have a story building in Nigeria.
I think Badagry lost it when they built a port in Apapa, and they never did in Badagry.
Okay.
If the colonial masters or subsequent governments have built a port in Badagry, Badagry will be booming by now, because it even have a better advantage. It's very close to West African neighbors.
Yeah.
So the way Cotonou port is booming and the Port Novo port is booming, Badagry supposed to be booming that way also, if there has been a port there.
Yeah, I hope the newly planned deep sea port, I think it's a consortium of companies with the Lagos State government. They are talking about building a deep sea port in Badagry.
They should make haste and build it. It will help the town.
And also the federal government is talking about. There's a plan to build this super highway, just like the Lagos Calabar super highway, but that will be Lagos Sokoto super highway. I mean, it's been mapped out. I hope all this will take place so that Badagry will take its proper place as a historical and economic town. All right, this is the Maritime and Border Show with Dele Utomi today, and I have with me here Mr. Kelvin Okechukwu. You're welcome, sir, to the program.
Thank you.
Yeah, we today we shall be talking about the National Single Window, which of course is proposed to start to come into effect in the course of the at the end of the year, in January of 2026. Sorry. And
is it January or February?
Thereabout.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say 2026. So it's the proposed National Single Window project, the place of trucking business. So, what do you think the effect of the single window will have on your business, the trucking business, as a leader in that sector, sir?
I will start by saying that it will be a good thing for the economy and for Nigeria if, I will use the word if, it will work well, because I've been in Nigeria for years. I know Nigerians are good in bringing out a very nice idea on paper, but when you put it on the ground, most of them don't work. We have seen ideas that are better than this that did not work. So a single window is a very good idea. It works, and it will help transportation and it will help Nigerian economy.
Why do you think so?
Good. because it will make it easy for people to clear their goods. It will make it even cheaper for people to clear their goods in the long run, because graft will not be there anymore. Everything will be open and transparent. People will see how much they need to clear their goods. And it will even bring other West African countries to use Nigerian ports to clear their goods. Why many West African countries don't use Nigeria is because of the delay in clearing their goods. A good that should clear under 3 days, 4 days, will take 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. So it discourages business. And landlocked countries like Niger, Chad, Burkina Faso, Mali, we have a lot of them that are using other countries' ports instead of Nigerian ports. And Nigeria will have a advantage of scale. We are a big market. So all these countries supposed to patronize Nigerian ports if things are going well. So this single window, if it works out the way they plan it, it will help Nigerian economy greatly, and will help us win the transportation business, because that means we have many more work to do. Instead of talking about haulage within Nigeria alone, I can take goods to Mali, I can take goods to Niger, I can take goods to any other country in West Africa, Chad, and name them. And they need Nigeria, and we also need them, because business is all about interaction. Rub my back, I rub your back. Business go on, and it will help every person.
Sir, I would like to go back a little bit to what we read about here about the issue of the gridlock coming back on the port corridors. The national single window is coming up in a few months' time. Now we're having this. Is it not? Should I say that there's a kind of attempt to sabotage whatever is coming up with this traffic coming up now? And we know that with the customs introducing their own online application program, the Bodogu, we had issues of glitches. Some of them were man-made, because like some people said, maybe they didn't want it to work. Do we should we be worried?
Yes, I'm worried. That's why I use the word "if" it works, because I know that government officials will not allow it to work. Clearing agents will not allow it to work. Even the importers don't want it to work, because they all benefit from all this
Chaos
that is happening here. When chaos happens, people benefit. Bad people benefit from chaos. That's the truth. If they do single window and it works, what it means is that importers cannot cut corner again. Agents cannot cut corners again. Customs and other revenue generating agents in the ports cannot cut corners again. And it will be beneficial to government. But those people that are used to getting money in their pocket illegally will not be getting it again. So that's why I use the word if. I'm very, very apprehensive that they will not allow it to work.
Sir, have you had a meeting? Because I know that the National Single Window Project Committee, they are going about meeting agencies, meeting business concerns, meeting some kind of all associations that do business within the maritime corridor, within the maritime sector. Have you had meetings with them? Have they invited you for a meeting so that you can also speak your own mind about what they need to impute, what they need to consider while setting up this national single window and then making it work?
No, the truth is that most of these meetings they're always silent truckers, believing that the clearing and forwarding agents speak for us. But they don't know that in Nigeria.
But do they speak for you guys?
They don't. It's a different. They are different from us. Most clearing agents don't have trucks. In fact, almost all of them don't have trucks.
Well, sir, let me also say something here. You know that part of what they are supposed to have is a truck or trucking business for them to be freight forwarders or clearing agents.
Yes, but
that's what the rule says.
That's what the rules say. But at the end of the day, in Nigeria now, people don't want to do the hard work. In trucking is a very hard work. It's a very difficult business. Okay. A business where you cannot cheat any person, and people cheat you. So people don't want to do that kind of business. Many carrier agents have set up a trucking business and they failed. And they find out that it's a very difficult business. So they want to be where it is softer to do. And again, as a clearing agent, you don't need capital to start. But as a trucker, you need a lot of money. You have to invest a lot of money for you to be a trucker. So people want it softer ways.
No, but if because you guys call yourselves the movers of the economy, isn't that what
Yeah.
you call yourselves?
Yeah, well,
If the movers of the economy are not engaged while things like this are being planned, it portends some kind of I don't know, an outcome that may not be too good.
actually, Nigeria, middlemen thrives in Nigeria in everything, both in agriculture, in housing, in everything in Nigeria, middlemen thrives. So these people we call clearing agents are just middlemen.
Yeah.
They're in between the government official, the agents, and the importer. We, the truckers, are the actual people that do the work. But middlemen thrives. That's why middlemen are richer than farmers. Am I making sense?
You are, of course.
House agents are richer than even the landlords. They're the one making the money. Landlords are crying. The tenants are crying. So middlemen are thriving in Nigeria. That's the way Nigerian society works. So
No, but we cannot accept that as a standard of living, because that's not how it is done in other climes.
we still have a long way to go now. That's not how it's done in other clients. But in Nigeria, that's how it works. And a single person cannot change it. It will need time for. That's why we need to start doing the property. When we start doing the property, all these things will take shape.
Now let's talk. Talk about your business now locally. I learned the issues that the last time you came to the studio here, you were talking about certain issues that you were having while doing the business. The issue of the non-state actors affecting your business. Has that issue been, taken care of?
Tackled. Yeah, that's still there. The Lagos states have tried their best, but that's still there. The economic situation in the country make people their hard devils. They just want to feed, so you can't chase them out of the road. If you chase them in the daytime, in the night, they will be there. And as gridlock is increasing, Papa, their numbers keep on multiplying. If the gridlock reduce, the number will reduce. They are still there, non-state actors.
So, in essence, what you're saying is that if the right thing is done, the right atmosphere is presented, and it takes care of some of these problems. The roads are fixed. The ways and manners of allowing the trucks to access the port, it's efficient. Then these problems will be automatically they clear, but naturally die off.
Yeah, they will naturally die off if the infrastructures are in place, especially if you build more ports, the rain come in, the barges come in, things that would congest the port, they will automatically fizzle out. And if business are done in the daytime, like for instance in the major roads now, you will not see non-state actors in the major roads, especially in the afternoon. They only come in the night, or all those backyard roads, all those street roads where they can hide and they exploit people. So with adequate infrastructure, it will take care of most of these things.
Now, as we are advocating for things to be done properly, or have multimodal means of transportation, how would they affect your business? If you have trade moving most of the trucks away from how would you? Don't you think it will?
It does not affect the truck business. It even help the trucking business, because train cannot take it to your doorstep. When the train drop it, wherever it drop it, you still need truck to take it to your doorstep or to the warehouse or to the factory. It does not affect it. It helps us save. It helps us run away from exploiters, people that take our money in the port, those police people, MPA, and sort of them. When you have your business, for instance, now you take the goods to something like Sangota, I come to Sangota and pick it to your warehouse. All these people that exploit me on the road, I've beat them. They will not take my money. The little money you pay me will go straight into my pockets. Not now that they will pay me plenty money and at the end of the day I will go with little. So, help me if the train come into play, badges come into play. I'll just go to Ikeja where there's a terminal there and pick my goods and go and deliver at Sangota without facing any state actors and non-state actors. Even if you pay me only 100,000, I know that 100,000 is for me. I'm not sharing it with any person. Not now that you pay me 400,000. At the end of the day, I will spend 300,000 naira on non-state actors and state actors. You say I'm doing business. People now look at 400,000 naira. This guy is making money, whereas without knowing that little or nothing
Goes into the pocket.
goes into your pocket.
No, sir. Which particular agency regulates your business?
For now, I don't think it's just actually, it's supposed to be freight forwarders. That's what we're supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. You guys are supposed to be regulated by the that's a Council for the Regulation of Freight Forwarders in Nigeria. That's CRFFN.
Exactly.
Yes, I asked this question because I needed you to say it. I was at a forum with the registrar of CRFFN, and he talked about bringing in at least 4,000 truckers, your members, into the fold to be able to know how to, work with you and make the business better for you guys. Have you had any kind of interaction with the CRFFN?
No, because CFFA will always call freight forwarders, and freight forwarders will now speak for us, whereas they are not even our members, whereas they don't have trucks.
But sir, yes.
And at the end of the day, if there's any due for freight forwarders to pay, they'll push it to truckers. For instance, when you talk about
is that so?
That's exactly what they do. For instance, when they talk about export, when they are doing export now, there's what they call export call-up now. Those export call-ups supposed to be paid by freight forwarder. That's forwarding it to this thing. But at the end of the day, the freight forwarder will say is the transporter that will pay. And the transporter, because you need a job now, you want to eat, you take the whole
responsibility.
Take the whole responsibility because you want to work. Because our industry is very competitive. Because that's the only industry that doesn't require any registration to start. As you are now, if you have money, you can just go outside there to beg and buy a truck and start a business. So we have a lot of people in the trucking industry. So because of because of stiff competition, people take whatever that comes there to their table.
Yeah. You are the chairman of the Creek Truckers Association. Don't you think you should, as a leader of one of the associations, the trucking associations, take it up and go to the CRFFN office at on the island and then meet with them and talk to them directly? Because you are talking about exploitation, both on the official people's side and then on the streets. Because people are open to so much of the elements, unquote. Why can't you do a direct negotiation or direct approach to the CRFN, who are supposed to
be our regulator?
Be a kind of regulator of the business.
You're making a point. You're pointing what you say. But the problem we have is that we truckers are not even aware of what you're saying now. That's the truth. We don't even know that we're supposed to be regulated by CRFN. We don't even know that we are part of freight forwarders. We don't know that. We just feel that we are just truckers. We are on our own. But when it comes to maritime truck, actually we're supposed to be freight forwarders.
Yeah, it's I'm giving you the information now. He spoke about bringing in at least 4,000 in this single window thing that we are talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, that is their plan is to bring in at least 4,000 truckers so that everything will be streamlined. And you know that if you guys are not engaging them or they are not engaging you, there's an old this they say that there was a meeting for animals, and when it came to that of the chicken, the chicken said anything you put decide I'll take. When they got there, they say okay, chicken will be used for sacrifice at every occasion. And that was that became the norm.
But that's exactly what is happening to truckers. Because we are not represented in any way. We don't go for all these meetings. We just feel that we are on our own. But in the real of it, you cannot be on your own.
But in the modern way of doing business, yes, you should also talk to people. You guys should make the move.
Oh, we do that.
Now, let's talk about a bit about your engagement with the Lagos State government. Your engagement with the Lagos State government. Okay, what has over this period that you've been here since the last time you were here? How I hope there's an improvement in your relationship with the authorities within Lagos here.
Yeah. Lagos State government, in all honesty, they have been trying to help truckers, especially maritime truckers. They did all they could to make sure that all these non-state actors are removed from the road. And I can tell you that in the major roads of Lagos, all non-state actors are no longer there, apart from the area boys that will always come when your trucks break down. Yeah. Apart from the night, if you have, you can still encounter them one or two places in the night. But in the daytime, Lagos State actors have tried their possible best to remove them, and they have tried as much as they can to clear the road within the limit of their power.
Okay.
And they have also tried to make sure that even if there is congestion, let it be mostly at the night or in the weekend. They are trying that direction, and we always commend them for that. But there's still a lot they can do.
Okay, right, that's good. Well, we are getting to that point in the program where listeners and are required to call in to ask questions. Mr. Okechukwu is here to answer a whole lot of your questions as regards the operations of the truckers, the maritime truck operators, who are, according to them, the movers of the economy. Now, the numbers to call are 070 090 390 3903. Let me repeat that. 070 090 390 3903. There's also the WhatsApp call number, which is 0817 081 717 56338. 081 717 56338. There's also the number 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. This is the Maritime and Border Show with Dele Utomi. Mr. Okechukwu.
Dele?
The one of the things we read here today, they talked about the article that was written by the writer, Mr. Okerebu, about the non-opening of the borders. How has it been, as in affecting your people's business? I know you operate mostly from the port and not the borders, but as a transporter, what's the effect of that on your business?
It has a very dear consequence in our business. It's not a good one at all, because I remember that we have friends and colleagues that are operating through the border. Most of them have to sell their trucks. Others converted their trucks to maritime trucks, thereby making the maritime area overcrowded. Yeah, because we have hundreds and thousands of trucks that operate from this west coast, from Nigeria
Lagos
to Abidjan corridor, even to Senegal. Yeah, we have many of them. So overnight they become jobless. All their trucks and inventories become moribund. They can't do anything with it. Some of them that are fast have to change some of their trucks to what can now carry container.
They reconfigure their vehicles.
They configure their vehicles and start carrying container. Before you know it, now have overcrowding in Papa
obviously
corridor.
That would be the effect.
Yes, that's the effect. And a lot of business go down the drain from that side, because it's just we are limiting business for people. I don't think closure of that border is a very good idea. Just like you are doing a lot of protectionism. When you are protecting, overprotection is not always good in business. So it's poor business for many of our people. The partial opening now is opening things. If you go to my two trade fair and other places, you see trucks carrying goods to West African coast. And it's even good for traders also, because they sell more.
Yeah?
Yeah. Most people, not say most people, some people in West Africa, they prefer to come to Nigeria and buy goods instead of going to China or going to Europe to buy it. They buy it from Nigeria. So it's more business for Nigerian businessmen. And when Nigerian businessmen have more business, the importers will do more importation. And we, the truckers, will have more work to do.
Of course, it trickles down to the man in the streets.
It trickles down to the ministry. That's the word. So opening border to me is a good approach. Nigeria is a big economy. The smaller economies will always come to us, not we going to them.
Yeah,
If we do the right thing.
but you also talked about the issue of protection of the national economy. Please, let me take this call. Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Good,
good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Bashir Ali, a practitioner in the industry.
Good afternoon, Dr. Bashir.
Good afternoon, sir. Permit me to appreciate your efforts for telling Nigerians and the world the happening in the industry, whether shop across the country.
Dr.
I will appreciate your work.
Dr. Bashir, sir. Your,
Yes, we can hear you.
yeah, wait, it's not too clear. Your line is not too clear. Maybe you're close to your radio. Could you move away from the radio? It's
So, I will appreciate your guest for his explanation. And I would like to ask him some questions, just one, two, or three.
okay.
In the course of his explanation concerning the Badagry port,
Yeah.
he was of the opinion if we can have diversified ports in Nigeria.
Yes.
What can you say about the issue of access ports, considering that even the Apapa port we are having, part of the challenges is the access control. Now we are talking about the protecting of condition. That's why the fact that we have entry Apapa through Ijura, and the other you can use Apapa via life to Tinker. That's number one question. Number two, I want you to tell Nigerians, are they under one umbrella and not truck owners? If they are, why is it that we always see the cases of different bodies coming up under truckers? Why is it that? Number three, is he aware that part of the challenges we are having in the maritime industry in Nigeria, being attributed to truckers? Because it is only in Nigerian ports, a truck driver then will be given a container to go and deliver, and while he is giving back the empty to return, he either sell it or the container disappeared. What can you say about that? That has been an issue.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello?
Dr. Bashir, as much as possible. Hello, I can hear you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Mr. Okechukwu will answer the question, sir. Let me try.
Okay.
Let me try as much as possible to explain what the question is asking. You talked about the issue of the Badagry port development. You said we are advocating for port development. What about the issue of the access routes? The same problem that Papa is having. Won't Badagry have? And of course, that's obvious. That's obviously the truth. If you have a port in Badagry and you do not have this multimodal means of evacuation of goods and cargoes from there, it's going to be another chaos for the people of that area. That's one. The second question he asked, I missed because the audio wasn't
good. Yeah.
Very low audio quality. But the third one he talked about, I think I can make out what he was getting at there. He was asking about sometimes that part of the problem we are having at the ports, most of them or a lot of them are caused by truckers. Why? Because he said that sometimes you give them cargoes to go and deliver, and midway to the place it is tampered with or it disappears. So what do you have to say about this, sir?
Okay, let me first of all talk about Badagry. If you have a new port in Badagry, the issue of congestion will not just arise immediately. That's the truth. For instance, we have a port in Lekki axis now. There's no congestion there.
No congestion.
Because it's a new port and their patronage is still low. And because it's a new port, it's a modern port. Everything is there, is seamless.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm telling you that in the next 5 years, there won't be congestion in Lekki because it's a modern port. I still believe that if they build a modern port in Badagry, there won't be congestion, even though the roads are not too good. But Lagos State is improving on the road drastically. If you go to Badagry recently, you will know that Lagos State is trying. That
I was there a few days ago.
The road is quite okay. So the fear of congestion will not be there. It will even help Apapa because some of the business in Apapa will go to that place. Badagry is closer to Trade Fair. It's closer to Alaba. And these are places a lot of containers go to. So it will help. It will help. There shouldn't be any fear of congestion in that axis for now. And it will be very close to Cotonou and the West African coast. Some people that want to shift to West African coast can use the Badagry port and go. Okay. That's the truth. Just like Lekki now, people coming from up country, from north, from east, prefer doing business in Lekki than Apapa because it's closer for them to go. So people that want to use West African coast, use Nigeria West African coast, they will go through there. So the issue of congestion, we should not be thinking about that one. It will not come in the nearest future. Okay. Then his third question, let me jump the second one because I didn't hear him. The third question, the issue of loss of goods on the way.
Or tampering
of goods on the way. It's not done by truckers. So we have thieves on the road. I'm a trucker. I know that we have people that specialize in tampering goods on the road. They go on bike. If a vehicle is going in the night, they will either break the container and they be dropping things without the knowledge of the driver. You know, trailer is a very long, 40-feet container is long. The driver is in the front. He will not know that somebody is tampering with his good at the back. Unless people saw him and they notify the driver.
But usually it is securely locked. How come?
They break the lock. They have things they are used to break the lock that's very easy now.
You mean it?
Yes, now. They will be on
on the mobile truck?
Yes, they do it. Ask police. Now, police are aware of it. They move it. They do that. And again, in some cases, so in the past, even up to now.
Let me pick this call, sir.
We have people that hijack trucks on the road.
Hello?
Yes, my question is not apart from causing damage on the road, multi-fledged. Return of empty containers. Drivers, truck drivers seem to abandon it. Either via translation, which is allowed if it is formally done. I tell the truth, that's the allegation. They are part of the problem in the industry. Empty containers. My second question, I was asking to do you really have one umbrella of truck owners because we have been proliferation of different bodies coming up?
Dr. Bashir?
Yes,
your audio quality is very bad. I don't know whether it's maybe you're too close to somewhere or there's an echo there because I can't make out what you're saying.
Okay. What I was saying is the association. We have criminal associations.
Okay, associations.
Yes, of truck owners.
Okay.
They are not one. It is not one. Why is it like that?
Okay. The proliferation of associations, trucking associations.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I heard that.
Secondly,
okay.
On the issue of missing payments. Normally being associated, it's being attributed to truck owners. What is the problem? Truck drivers, they will come, they will carry it, and they will not return it. While the importer also will say that importer will say, I have given it to so truck, and they will be looking for it. Already his agency is being placed on the end by shipping company. That has been a very serious problem. And then the other issue, are they sensitizing, educating their drivers to comply with the automation system at the terminal?
Okay.
Because we have cases of truck drivers damaging facilities at the terminals.
Okay.
Underage driving under the alcoholic
influence.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It will be better if they can come under one body.
Okay.
And then secondly, if I carry my cargo, for instance, to import furniture, and then after uploading, I now give it to a trucker to return it back to Apapa. Before I know, he will not return it. They're empty.
That's the empty car.
And when next time I'm importing, my company will be placed on the end. Okay. If I ask them, say, you have not returned the social box. And that has been an issue. Very, very serious issue in the industry.
Okay, sir. Your
guest is aware. I am aware. We are all aware. How do we address that?
Okay, you will address them now, sir. You heard the question,
Thank you, Mr. Bashir. Your question and fears are noted. Actually, most of the things you said are the facts, they are the truth. The problem is that
you're starting with the issue of proliferation of associations. Why can't people come together as one and then?
That's a that's a big problem. We've tried, but I don't know. Human beings are especially if you don't have the big stick to word, they are very difficult to control. We've tried many times to come under one umbrella, but one thing or the other will make it not to work.
Hello.
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 Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Oluwafemi coming from my papa.
Mr. Oluwafemi, good afternoon to you. This is Dilu Tommy.
Yes.
Brother show.
My point is deviating, but I know that you are talking about port. Am I correct?
Yes. The maritime show. We're talking about all things ports and the operations. But today we are tracking.
Okay. Well, I don't know, but I think it is the right time for the government to look into another area. Lagos is already congested with port. There's a mini port in the Maitu. There's a Tinkan port at the Tinkan. There's a Tinkan port at Lekki or whatever. What happened to the Bokoda? They should be just going to maybe north and other areas and go from that area instead of concentrating their port, their resources only in Lagos. Not only Lagos that we have in this country. I am not saying that they should not develop Lagos, but me and you know that Lagos is already developed up to what they need now in Lagos is maintenance and maintenance and maintenance. Not all creation. At the end of the day, they will find it difficult to develop it. Develop another state. So, looking for white collar job in Lagos, they can go to another place to go and look for white collar job. Good afternoon, my brother.
Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you. I think we've talked about that one.
We talked about
it's all about that on infrastructure.
Yeah.
Government should make out money and build infrastructures. You need the other parts in the other part of the country.
Yeah. Please, I talk about the questions that Dr. Bashir, the issue of disappearing of empty containers when given to your member.
That's the problem. He just said something. We transporters need to come down under one umbrella.
Yeah.
Apart from coming down under one umbrella, we need to have regulations. Not every person, when you have an all-common affair, you have all kind of people.
Yes.
And because of Nigerian factor, for instance now.
Let's take this call, sir. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling in from?
Yeah, my name is Mike. I'm calling from the Eastern area of Lagos.
Okay, you're welcome, Mr. Mike. Questions, please.
Thank you very much. Yeah, of course. I'm a total of the system. Okay. So, like the last caller rightly said, we have to start with our self truth. We are talking of congestion, trucking, and whatnot. Common sense will tell us that Lagos is over congested. What kind of development are you looking for in Lagos? Is it building? Is it structure? Is it company? Is it market? Is it seaport? We shouldn't be discussing all these things that are concerning them. We should be telling government to expand all these development of ports and other areas.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. This is the we cannot be discussing Lagos. What are we discussing Lagos for? This is a common thing, but due to tribalism, hatred that these leaders have in mind, that is stopping them from doing the right thing. And the whole world are looking at us and laughing at us, working at us. Imagine a country where professors behave like a baby. A country where people. No, I'm telling you, excuse me, sir. One problem I don't want to speak the truth to stop us. It doesn't help. We must start and say the truth. Okay? We are not getting anything right in this country. Name it. Is it in education, hospital, everywhere? Everything is upside down. It is not helpful. You cannot carry the Nigerian passport to Cotonou. There was that kind of a working in Cotonou. I move around the military in the Republic of Benin here. But here, somebody, a common local, a common councillor, will be flexible. Are we fools? We are not this now. This is the country where I think the leaders, we should be at peace. We should be talking about it. We can't be talking like what is like Lagos is already developed. All right. I beg. May God help us to understand. I beg.
Of course, these are the issues that we try to bring out on this program. Every time we talk about the development of the Eastern, you heard me read. You heard me read out some some.
Yeah, I heard it. But we should, how many on list? We should have a little sense now. Nigerians are no fools. Can't you understand? Simple things. People are notice. Eh?
It's the priority of the government to develop.
But you should be telling them the truth now. How can a country like this go in that place, go to America,
we also think about private public partnership. Like
we have in Lekki.
Lekki Port is not only done by government alone.
Lagos State government and federal government only have a small shares in the Lekki Port.
If you now rely on government for 100% of everything, it might not work because Nigeria is not that rich country.
No. Let me also bring out something here, sir. We know that the first government to conceptualize a port, the deep sea port, is the Akwa Ibom State government.
Yeah.
Over 10 years ago, they did not do the necessary things to make it come to reality. And now Lagos State government borrowed that idea and they've developed the Lekki deep sea. So other state governments and should also
work in that direction. And it's not only until a foreign company come in. Our private businessmen can take in that direction.
Exactly.
They can liaise with state governors and they do a port. If foreigners can come to Nigeria and do a port with Lagos State government, I don't see why.
And running it efficiently.
Some of our freight forwarders or big time businessmen can partner with the government and build a port. If Dangote can build a refinery, there's nothing a private individual that want to build that he cannot build.
Dangote is even partnering with them to build that Badagry port. That's the next priority.
So the Eastern port we are talking about, we Easterners should also think in that direction. Partner with River State, Delta State government, Abayasa State government, Akwa Ibom State government, and build a port also. We should not be relying on federal government to do everything. And when it doesn't do it, we will not talk about tribalism or political marginalization. We can still take the lion heart and do some things by ourselves.
Take the bull by the horn.
We cannot be waiting for government for everything. That's my sincere opinion.
Yeah, a call is coming in. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
See my phone is solo. I did have my brother say something about people supporting. Other, let me tell you, many individuals have the money to do this, but we didn't issue the license. I don't know where I come, but you know that even Igbos, many people are there ready to do what Dangote is doing, taking government money with their own money without looking for any loan from the government. But they will not give the permission, they will not give them the certificate, they will not give them the go ahead order. Can't you understand? I don't like when people paint words in the public place. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, sir. Could you react to what Dr. Bashir said before about underage driving and you were trying to do
the truth is that most of drivers in maritime sector are not trained. That's the truth, and I tell you the reason. It's all commerce affair. Every person just come, you have small money, you go and buy second-hand truck and they put on the road. No person, no regularization, no monitoring. It's just all commerce affair. So, and the only factor people consider is the price. Somebody might tell you, okay, deliver good for me to Kano, 2 million. Another person will come and charge 1.5 million. Most people go for one person of 1.5 million. Without knowing that the person that want to collect 2 million want to deliver quality service to you. People don't consider quality service when it comes to transportation solution. They just consider pricing. And person that take 1.5 million to Kano, is anything you see, you take. Some of them will go to Kano, deliver empty container, will be looking for it. Just like Bashir complained. Yeah. You will not see empty container again. And the shipping company will now start charging the importer for the empty container.
Yeah. Obviously, that will be the case. So
when you go for cheap, you get monkey. That's the truth. So the big companies and the good companies in this maritime section, their pricing is very, very high.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my brother. Happy Sunday.
Please, sir, stay away from your radio or turn it down.
Yeah, I'm already aware.
Okay.
What I am trying to say is...
What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
OBN from Uganda.
Uganda. Okay. Welcome to the...
God bless you. Thank you. You said that foreigners help the Lagos State government to do port. Do you know how much Nigerian government spend every year for Lekki Port? 15 billion naira on yearly basis. Where has
are going to spend 15 billion in every part of Nigeria. Taxpayers' money. And you're still talking of Badagry port. How many ports are you going to situate in Lagos State? What of other places? What of Calabar port? What of the river? What of Warri? What of the inland ports? That port in other places to donate it. And when you are open and Lagos is overpopulated and overcongested, what kind of caravan nepotism and greed is that? This is evil, too greedy, and you are still talking about national radio. People should stop this rubbish. This is Arab nonsense.
My brother, the Badagry port we are talking about is Lagos State initiative. It's not federal. Lagos State want to do the Badagry port. Am I correct?
In conjunction with a private partnership.
That's exactly the same thing we are talking. River State, Delta State, Akwa Ibom State, they can still do it in conjunction with private partners and build their port. That's exactly what I'm saying. We should not be leaving everything for federal government to do. What we can do by ourselves, let's do it by ourselves. So I don't see there's no need for all this acrimony.
No,
people should understand that.
None whatsoever. There's no need for it. People should understand. I think to me, well, emotional. When you get emotional about things, this it happens. Well, we should be able to know that beyond what we see, there are. If you need to really have a change, you have to invest your time, your money, and everything to make that change. Dangote is taking the bull by the horn, investing in. He has invested in the refinery, the very first Nigerian to do that here in Nigeria. He's also venturing into, of course, going into the same. He's about to partner with the Lagos State government to build a port in Badagry. It is his own personal business decision. We have billionaires in Nigeria who can do the same thing with other state governments, like you said.
Yeah.
Let them go and do it. The thing is that if we are talking like this, it means we should maybe tell America that they should stop investing in New York. That we will have other 49 states. It doesn't work that way. It's not just about how letting our emotional get a better part of us.
The truth is that many Nigerians don't like investing in Nigeria. Because I know initially Dangote was not the richest man in Nigeria. 20 years ago, Dangote was not the richest man in Nigeria.
He was not.
But he's the richest man today because he have the lion heart to invest in Nigeria. When other people are scared of investing in Nigeria. 20 years ago, Obasanjo issued licenses to people to do refineries.
16
refineries.
Yeah.
Did any of them do it?
No.
When Dangote take the bull by the horn and do it now, people are now saying, shouting of monopoly. The same thing about ports now. People have opportunities to invest in ports. When he invests it now, people see that there is money in it now. People are now shouting monopoly, that he's now monopolizing the port. There's places to invest in Nigeria. It's just their heart to do it. That's the truth.
Okay, sir. You have another call is coming in. Yeah, we're having a flurry of calls. Hello. Okay. You were talking about the questions that posed by Dr. Bashir about what do you do to regulate the. Hello. Go, sir. Let me see if this call can be picked. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam. Please stay away from your radio.
Okay, I've already off it.
Go on. Tell us your name and where you're calling in from and ask your question. Oh, we've lost that.
You see, 10 years ago, I remember there was a time when PA came with the idea of forming an alliance. Transporters should come in group of minimum of 50 trucks for you to have a license to operate in the port.
Okay.
That's if you don't have up to 50 trucks, you cannot operate in the port. And that will help in regularizing a lot of things happening in the port. But our people will say no. Every person criticizes it that they want to monopolize it, want to do this, want to chase the poor people away. But, they did it in the banking sector until it worked. Before, we have more than 200 banks. Every person can just stay on a bank and deal with people.
Yeah.
When MPA wanted to do that, people kick against it. But to me, I think it's a better idea. People that have one or two trusts can come together as a company.
Yeah.
We Nigerians are supposed to learn how to form companies. Not every person, every time when they do and Sons, or Bola and Sons, or Sanusi and Sons.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah. Your name and where you're calling in from? This is the Maritime and Border Show.
It is Mr. David.
Okay, sir. Ask your question.
Okay, what I want to say, network is that I don't know your co-member that you said. Good to him.
Okay, he's greeting you, sir.
Thank you, my friend.
So the last caller, not this woman, the person that called before the woman.
Yeah.
It's like the way this my brother is talking. I think that is sorry for the language. That is not in Nigeria. What is going on? Do you know the fact? What the way? Go make your money, you can align with the federal government, go and make your own time as in the Port Harcourt or Calabar or I'm an importer. I've been doing business for a long time. I'm getting to my 70s. My experience regarding to what is saying, I don't think it's feasible. Because if really the federal government is on the other side of the country to develop, they're supposed to show a sample for Islam, as an example. Think of the railways that runs across Kaduna, Abuja, Lagos, Ibadan. Why did they boycott the transport? There is one port at Ene. The people have left my container there. 46 container left it. I don't know how it went. Because I remember when the day I was cooking that and he mentioned something like there are people that used to follow truck, maybe at night they do the truck. They are in agreement with the driver. You understand? There is no way driver will be driving 46 container, you not know that they are breaking it. I have another one that I live at home here. I'm talking from experience. It happened to me. That time that Dubai was raining, I traveled to Dubai. I loaded my 46 container. Then after 3 days, I traveled back to Dubai. We were about 4. We loaded another container. Believe me, when I was going to the office of my clearing agent, that was at Apapa, this something building. We laid there. Then on my way there, you know there's area B police station where you are sending the bridge. Yeah. I saw this my container because I have the picture on the number of it. I saw the first the second container that I made them because I'm going to pay money for the clearing of the first container. That is my own personal own. Then I saw this blue page one. When I look at I come down and say, what is going on here? I come down, I now look at the container, I compare with the picture that I have of my phone. Then I now found out that this is that container. When I went to that place, the name of that place, I really have to mention it, but because I'm on air. I went there. I called my friend, Mr. Man, what is happening? He said, what happened? I said, I saw my container at certain place. He said, what they are just discussing here that they have got the container. I said, how come that the first one, what about the first one, that's my personal home, have not arrived, have not been cleared? How come that this one, that I loaded after 2 weeks, has been cleared, and the stolen, hijacked? My God, let me stop here. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, thank you, my friend. I understand what you're saying. Oh, the truth is that we have a lot of criminals in the port corridor. Yeah, even some drivers are criminals also. You know, in Nigeria, we don't have what's it called, a documentation system. You can you can send your driver packing today because of criminal activity. Your neighbor tomorrow will take him without knowing that the guy is a criminal. Yeah. So we are not exonerating our drivers. Some of them are thieves. That's the truth. I've been in this industry for 20 years. I know we have criminals as drivers also, but majority of them are good. We also have criminals that are not drivers. We have criminals everywhere. Yeah. So the issue, but that's on security. But what I'm saying,
there's a shady side to every business.
Every business. What I'm advising clearing agents that you should go for the big companies that you can hold if anything happen to your container.
I have pedigree.
Only companies that have pedigree, companies that have address, companies that have garages, companies that are big, that when you hold them you can get back your money. It's not when you carry out goods worth of 50 or 70 million, you now give it to a roadside agent. It's not even an agent, a middleman. We call them they are Buru now. give it a middleman in the street, and he will now go and look for truck that you don't know. All you wanted to know is that trucks are loaded at the cheapest cost possible. So if anything happened to it now, you now start shouting that truckers have stolen from you or dupe you. Whereas you know the addresses of the big companies that you can go to and pay good money to them so that they deliver your trucks, deliver your goods, and you sleep soundly. Because of 50,000 or 20,000 difference, you now went and risk business worth of 70 million, container worth of 70 million. You go and risk it because you want to make a gain of 50,000. Does it make sense? It does not make economic sense. Okay. Those people you are giving your goods to, you don't know them. Just because you want to cut costs. Please,
so what we were saying before comes in here. The point Dr. Bashir was making about having a common body, having your drivers trained, and having them having a record.
Yeah, the big companies train their drivers, but the small people that have one truck or two truck, when do they go to train driver? Any person they see on the street, they pick. But when you go to the big companies, they have trained drivers.
You also made a point about underage drivers driving truck. I see
motor boys. Some of them are not even drivers. People that are still learning now, because the driver is high on drug.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon, my brother.
Yeah. Good afternoon. This is a Maritime and Border Show with the little Tommy. Who's on the line and where are you calling him from?
Mr. Billy, you have Okenerus from Apapa.
Who? Okenerus. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, my brother. Good afternoon to your guest in the studio. I can't remember exactly his name now.
His name is Kelvin Chinedu Okechukwu.
Okay, Mr. Kelvin, good afternoon. I'm happy Sunday to you guys.
Thank you, Kelvin.
Well, quickly, I've been listening to the program, and your guest has been so nice in the deliveries, in the submission so far. Okay. But I think there's an area which I tend to disagree, and that for me is an indictment on the Truckers Association. If your guest can come out to say yes, that there are that some of their drivers they have some criminals among their midst, it means them as an association that they are not doing what they ought to do. They should be profiling. We don't just yes, I agree. The post system, majority of what you see in the post system are all garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. But as a professional body, as truckers, you need to protect the integrity of your business, the integrity of your members, right? Now, to that extent, how do you do that? There must be proper profiling. Every member who is registered with the Truckers Association, before you employ any driver, there are some checks and balances. You must do some due diligence. You don't just see anybody along the road, you pick him up and give him your truck. Tomorrow, if he has comes with somebody's cargo, and then maybe the defense will be that, well, you didn't engage a big company and all of that. Yes, I agree that there may be need for us to engage big companies. But beyond that, these other smaller people who are coming into transport or logistics,
Okay, Mr. Neros, he will react to your question.
Thank you, Mr. Nero. Just like you said, the smaller people that come in, they're always cheaper. That's why people prefer using those small companies instead of the big companies.
Okay. Even the big companies also, the big companies do it. We all know. That's why if you give your cargoes to the big companies, you go and say, because you know that the big companies will not take that risk of bringing in just anybody to be their driver. So I think as an association, the truckers need to do that, because the truth is that, take it or leave it, what happens within the corridors of truckers, my brother, is unimaginable. Somebody just called in and told you about how he saw his cargo somewhere around the port corridors. These things happen on daily basis, and it is through profiling some of these things can be checkmated. Then again, I have also noticed that these truckers, some of them have well over some, if I'm not mistaken, will have like 2-3 plate numbers. Why is this so? What is the association doing about all of this? If you ask the drivers, they'll tell you once the APA or the police come, if they take this, if they lose this one, I'll use this to drive and all of that. It makes it very, very difficult. So the truck association, sorry, Mr. Christie, you guys actually have a lot of work to do in the area of profiling of your drivers.
All right, thank you, Mr. Neros. Let him react to what you just said, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Some of them have 2-3 numbers because of it. They use it to do their call-up system. Because if you don't have 3 or 4, maybe your call-up will not come out quick.
Truck having 3 or 4 plate numbers.
Yes, now that's what they do now. That's the irony of TTP. When people are praising TTP, I look at them and laugh. But let's not go into that. Let's go to the real question. The real question is farming association.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. But you should also know that farming association in Nigeria is optional. The truth is that most truckers don't even belong to any association.
True.
Our trucking this it's not like Nupeng that before you say petrol you must be a part of Nupeng. It's not like that in maritime trucking. You can be a member without being in any association. We have more than 7 associations in maritime. We are trying to bring them together. We are not able. Even I will tell you that 70% of truckers in maritime sector does not belong to any association. So how do we profile people that are not a member? It's not possible. So the only way out is going to the big companies.
What about those who are members? Because it's actually saying something.
Those members are even few, and those are members you can.
You say about 70% do not belong to us.
Any association. I'm telling you for sure. I'm telling you for sure.
The majority of truckers do not belong
to any association. They are just their own.
A call is coming. Hello, good afternoon, sir. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Go on, sir.
So it's an outcome affair. Even those of them in the association, there's a limit you can go to provide them. They will tell you that this is my personal business. You don't run my business for me. That's the truth. So the best bet is going for the big companies or trying to merge the small companies together, so that you can see somebody to who. If
that's a way to go.
Yes, merging them together. Go and form 50 body. Maybe once you people have up to 50 trailers, you come together. They register you under one name. Under one body, so that when anything happens, you say, okay, I'm going for Kenny Rose. Kenny Rose is the transporter that stole my goods. So when you hold Kenny Rose, they will now know how to solve their problem, because it's not a company. I feel that's the way to go to sanitize the maritime sector.
If people are calling and saying that every day it happens, their cargoes take flights.
Even the empty containers
take flight. Empty containers take flight.
Yeah, it do happen.
That is extremely worrisome, sir.
What do we do now? The police cannot even help matter, because the thing is, even police have tried a lot to see what they can do, but in some cases, at the end of the day,
your profession or your business or the people involved in your business, they need some kind of regulation, urgent regulation.
No, they need regulation.
Sanitization or sort of any kind of way of making sure that people have their documentations before going into the business. It doesn't, like you just said, you can't just go and buy a truck and then come in and start the business, and then you go and pick somebody's container that's worth over 50 million naira and disappear with it. It puts your business into a kind of jeopardy.
Yes, that's a major problem we have in Nigeria maritime sector, because it's an uncommon affair, which is not good for the industry and good for the reputation. That's even why foreigners don't like doing business in Nigerian ports. Because, for instance, now if this person we are talking about is a foreigner, maybe he's from Chad or Niger, he wants to carry his goods from Nigeria, and he get to somewhere the goods develop wing and miss. Will he want to do business in Nigeria any other time? He will go to another port elsewhere. So there's need for government to come in and regularize maritime transport system and make it formidable and strong, so that people will have confidence. When your goods are on the way, you know that these goods must be delivered. We have instances whereby you put your containers on a truck, the container go halfway and develop problem, and the transporter nowhere to be found. The goods will be there. It will be the importer that will now bring out money to fix the truck, or look for a towing van to tow the truck and the goods to his warehouse. I've seen many of them like that. It happens because the transporter is too weak to deliver the goods. What you tell is that how much did you pay me? It's not only 200,000 you pay me. The 200,000 has finished, and the towing van is asking for 300,000. Where do I get the money from?
And the person's goods was about 70 million will be stuck in that place unless the importer brings money again.
Unless the importer brings money. If it doesn't bring money, there's nothing he can do now. He doesn't have money again. He has only one truck. And you paid him 200,000 naira. And the goods stuck on the road. And you need 300,000 naira to deliver it. What do we do? So that's the problem we have in the maritime sector. Government need to come in. It's not what union can do. That's the truth.
Now, well, I'll say it again. I think the Council for the Regulation of Freight Forwarding in Nigeria needs to be up and down in this area. Mr. Kingsley Igwe, that's a registrar. I'll see how we can bring him to this program so that he can also talk to us about what to do about this. Because if we are talking about moving forward, we're talking about the national single window, and these goods, the clearing processes have been streamlined. Everything has become automated. When it comes to evacuation and delivery to the point of destination, becomes a problem. It's not good, because what will now happen is that you are turning out a whole lot of goods from the ports. They've done their part in making it more efficient, but if the evacuation means of evacuation,
it's become a very big problem. And the funny thing, the small companies, 80% of the operators are small companies. So even if want, yes, most of the inventories, most of these things belong to the small companies. Most of the truck you see belong to small companies. So even if you want to patronize the big companies, at a point you can't even see the big company to patronize. If, like for instance, now when the volumes are much.
But then again, it's not just about whether you're a big company or a small company. Are they well documented?
No, there's nothing like documentation. You can just raise up today, get your truck and go to Papa and load.
That's extreme
it's not
risk.
Documented.
That's an unimaginable amount of risk.
That's why I say that's where government come in. A union cannot start forcing people to be part of a union and start documenting them. We don't have no constitution, gave the union the power to do it.
Yeah,
that's the truth. Right. Don't have the right. That's where governments come in. They need to. If not, it will continue. This single window, transporters are the ones that will sabotage it the most. Because when goods start flying and the containers, all these issues up and down, it will not give the single window the credibility it requires.
Yeah. This is the Maritime and Border Show with the Dili Utomi. We have Mr. Kelvin Chinedo Kichuku here on the show. He's the chairman of the Kirikiri Maritime Kirikiri Truckers Association, and he's been shedding light on some of the activities, the problems they have within the association or within the maritime trucking sector of the maritime within the trucking sector of the maritime economy. And of course, we know that with each areas of human endeavor comes their own unique problems and advantages. No, but Mr. Away from the problems, sir, the trucking business, I think it's supposed to be a lucrative business, is it not?
Is there any lucrative business in Nigeria? When the economy is not smiling, is what any business to be lucrative. Many people have come in and go out. It's not lucrative, but
it has the potential to be lucrative and sustainable.
If the economy is good, it's okay. When economy is something that flows like river. Once this place is doing well, another place must do well. If the importation is booming or export is booming, it will run down to the transporters. They will do well. But if they're not doing well, if the importers are not doing well, the traders are not doing well, the exporters are not doing well, how will the transport people do well?
I understand that imports are becoming lower, but exports is growing, which is to a large extent a good thing for Nigeria, even though most of what we export are raw materials and agricultural products. How does it affect your business, sir?
Yeah, it affects the business. Just like I told you now, the congestion you are seeing now is because of export are coming out now. This is harvesting season. People are harvesting their crops and the exporters are buying and exporting. So it increased the activities at the port.
Okay. You see that the process of the processing method of this export product, is it that it's not efficient, or is it that just that people are diverting their trucks from imported to export or so? What's the major problem?
The major problem is that the import and export downtime are almost the same time. Now is the importers are importing more now because of Christmas season.
Yeah.
And the exporters are exporting more because of this is harvesting season. So the harvesting season and the export season,
they clash. They come at the same time.
Clash. That's why I tell you that by February, all these things will go down. They clash.
Okay. Yeah, but you as an individual, you can see this. Government is like what either sees everything. Why can't they see this thing and then anticipate the problem and then solve the problem before it comes?
What you know, the Nigerian government done that is they work at the immediate. They don't see the far thing coming. They always
we know we like to say that, but we know that they know that. Why can't they do that? Is it the lack of the political will?
Yeah, it's lack of political will and also the finances. Because just like I tell you, Nigeria is still lagging behind in infrastructure. You need infrastructures to take all these things into cognizance and do what they do the needful. All these things are something that need a lot of money to put into this thing. So even if they have the political will, do they have the finances to do it?
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about other ports now coming up now. Maybe it might not be not having the political will, it might be not having the finance to do it.
Yeah. Okay. A message just came in now. It says, "Good afternoon, VOP and guests at the studio. My question is, why is it that till date we are happy discussing congestion at Lagos ports? What happened to other ports in other states like Southeast and South? Loading from Lagos to Benin, PH, Calabar, Anambra, etc. It's not obvious that the government doesn't want to do it. Why are you talking about Lagos all the time? Stop talking about Lagos. Use this time talking about Lagos to talk about other ports. Stop it, please."
Okay, let me even tell my listeners that Port Harcourt since the last 2-3 years have been doing well.
Okay.
A lot of our transporters, a lot of our members have moved to Port Harcourt. Most of the goods going to Aba, Onitsha, Enugu. I can authoritatively tell you that most of them, 90% of them, go through Port Harcourt ports, no longer Lagos ports. Before. I will tell you that. So, Port Harcourt port has increased in activity, but a lot still need to be done there, especially in the area of security. Because the problem they have in Port Harcourt port is piracy. And and again, the draft of the port need to be deepened. The channel, they need to dredge the channel also so that big ships can still come to that place. So government still have more to do there, but activities have increased in Onne port. I can tell you that one.
What about the cost? Because it's part of the major complaint that people talk about, that the cost of doing business in Onne, the eastern ports, is higher than that of Lagos. Why is it so?
Before, I don't think it's higher before. Now. Okay. Now there's no TTP there. There's no call-up. There's no non-state actors in that area. So it's cheaper.
No. You may say there's no non-state actors, but you're talking about piracy. There are non-state actors.
That's in the waterways now, in the river. When it comes to the land, once you enter the port, all those non-state actors we see on the road, you don't have them there. So it's cheaper to do business as a transport, as a trucker.
Okay, as a trucker now you're talking about as a trucker. Okay.
And even clearing itself is somehow cheaper than in Port Harcourt than in Lagos. That's the truth. Only that people are so used to Lagos that people don't want to move to Port Harcourt. If you go to Port Harcourt, you find out that things are even cheaper there. I know some importers in Lagos that clear their goods from an airport and bring it to Lagos.
Okay, they do transshipment.
Not through transshipment, through road. You clear your goods in Port Harcourt, bring it to Lagos instead of bring it to Lagos. Yeah, some importers does that. So when people are talking about an airport, things are happening on an airport, but government need to do more.
Yeah,
to bring it to the level of Apapa.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Also, when we talk about the ports here are bigger in terms of what they handle.
Yes.
In terms of the landmass and in terms
of security.
All those things put together, all the many factors put together, they are better here. So these are things that people should also know. But like you rightly said, government needs to do more and invest more in other ports.
Other ports, yeah.
Because the Warri port is there. They've been talking about the dredging and development of that port, making it a bigger port and more efficiently run. But it's been on the paper for years now.
Yes.
So, well, this is the Maritime and Border Show on 90.3 FM, Voice of the People Radio. We have Mr. Kelvin Chinedu Kichukwu on the show today. He is the chairman of the Kirikiri Truckers Association, and we've been talking about the national single window, the effects, the the relevance of trucking in the national single window, which will be introduced in a few months' time next year. Mr. Okechukwu has been shedding light on so many things here, and we need you to call in more and send your messages on our numbers 080 070 090 390 3903 081 717 566338 0803 692 9933. Sir, one of the questions Dr. Bashir was asking before, if I could cast my mind back at it, well, how is it really is it so really difficult for the different associations? Don't they have a forum for meeting so that some of these problems you have itemized can be taken care of?
No, because of vested interest. The union leaders, all of them have their peculiar interests. They refuse to come together. That's the fact. We have tried Contour, tried Amato, tried different ways to bring the unions together so that we can speak in one voice and act as one. But it has always been very, very difficult.
I think a few months ago I was in one of those places, and one of the associations had to split into two. I think they call it the NAMTOP. We have one call themselves Nexus. So
a lot. All these things are trying to bring all the associations together under NAMTOP, under Nexus, under Contour, under Amato. But at the end of the day, before 6 months, they will not crash again. Every person will go his own way. Or have two factions.
Don't they see it that the personal interest cannot override the collective interest? Because when everybody benefits, it's good, it's better that way. But when only one person, because you want to be president of an association and you must have a splinter group, people do exploit that situation. Don't you guys realize that, sir?
Oh, we realize that. But the genuine transporters don't always have time for unionism. That's the truth. They just believe in making money, and that's all. So people that have time now dictate the tones. Even when some of the people that are leaders and people that are running the show are not really transporters, they did not invest much in transport. Even if they invest, there are people that have 1 truck or 2 trucks. The genuine transporters, the major transporters that have 50 trucks, 100 trucks, 200 trucks, the real players in the industry don't have time for unionism. That's the major problem we have. They want to run their business on their own. They don't want anything to do with union.
Yeah, but if you want to run your business and run it efficiently and make more money, you also need to take care of the political aspect of it now, because you need to be a pressure group to tell government that these are the things that you need to put in place to make our businesses better.
They came to the industry and found out that the industry is so fragmented. So they now find it that it's easier for them to just mind their business and run their business out than taking their good precious time to bring the unions together. Bringing the unions together might not benefit them financially. So they prefer that doing their business and running their trucking business is a better way of managing their time than going to bring the unions together. That will not put money into their pocket.
Okay. Would you say that the roads are better now, and that when I talk about the roads, not just Lagos, outside of Lagos, and how does it affect your business?
The roads are better in Lagos, but outside of Lagos, I will not tell you that they are worse now. Outside Lagos, yeah. When you go to the hinterland, I know people that used to go to up country, east, north, that have stopped doing that because of bad road. In fact, most trucks these days, most containers, when they bring their containers, they prefer to offload the goods in Lagos warehouse and use other trucks to transport it so that they can return their empty. When the roads are bad and container fell down, you don't only lose their goods, you also lose the empty container. And that empty container is demurrage bound.
Yeah.
Because of that demurrage ban, people now prefer to offload their containers in Lagos and use other trucks to ferry it to Kano, Kaduna, or wherever it's going. And by so doing, you are sure that container is no longer involved.
You give it back to the owner.
Giving it back to the owner. The demurrage is no longer there. you don't pay for container when it got lost. So because of that has gone. And all this happened because of bad road. The roads are not favorable. The roads are not good. Once you leave this Lagos, start going to the hinterland.
There were attempts at a few years back to start using rail to move containers to the north. What happened?
I think they tried that and it failed now because of insecurity and all those things. I don't know why it failed, sure. But if that attempt has worked, it will be better for everyone. It will be cheaper to transport by rail. And another climb is secured. It's more secure to transport by rail. But in Nigeria, I don't think it's so. And the railway corporation, I don't know what they are doing. It's not only to the north, it's supposed to even to the east and other places.
Yeah.
All this congestion we're talking about, it will not come into play if the rail is working efficiently.
Oh, this is the Maritime and Border Show with Lil Tommy on 90.3 Voice of the People Radio. Mr. Okechukwu, what's... Okay. Now, going back to your association, the Kirikiri Truckers Association, it's a small. You guys are more concerned about what happens within the Kirikiri area of Apapa. Why is it so? Why are you not a national body?
Because Kirikiri is a hub of maritime trucking. Yeah, I think I will tell you it's the largest concentration of maritime truckers. We have them in Nigeria. We have them in Kirikiri.
Okay.
So,
Sorry. Hello.
Hello, good day.
Please switch off your radio.
Okay, I've done that already.
Okay. Your name and where you're calling in from?
My name is Chibike from Mafoluku, Oshodi.
Okay, Mr. Chibike. Good afternoon. Your question.
Yes, I want to ask you, in clearing for trucks, are they mandated to do insurance? Because we see a lot of trucks falling here and there. How do they get over it in terms of the cost and everything? And also, if the goods get spoiled, do they pay for the goods, or will they charge to the insurance company to handle?
All right. You heard the question, sir.
well, I had a question.
Are you insured, or and when the goods get damaged along the way, who takes responsibility?
The big companies have insurance. There's what we call GIT, Goods in Transit Insurance.
Okay.
Every big company that is in maritime, even outside maritime, they do have a Goods in Transit Insurance. So, if you are working with a big company, you should be well assured that your goods are secured. If anything happens, the insurance company will pay. That's the truth. And as a big company, if you don't even have insurance and anything happen, you see somebody to hold. You know their office, you know their garage. You can hold somebody and you get back their money. But all these small companies, they can't afford to do goods in transit insurance now. So when you patronize them, they are cheaper. But whatever you see is what you take.
Okay, who takes responsibility when it falls? It gets damaged.
You bear a risk now. When you patronize a cheap commodity.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, it's still Dr. Bashir. I appreciate your program so much. Your guests have been, educating us very well. And I want to emphasize that trucking is an important aspect in maritime logistics.
Sure.
Especially. Fine. I want him to please, let him not be angry with me. I want him to tell us, should we leave the system like that, uncoordinated, while others that are not supposed to be there, practicing with racketeer trucks, be allowed to be causing problem in the system? If that is the case, is he of the opinion that service provider should provide trucking? Because already we have a shipping company providing that logistics service, and some of the consumers of the service are not happy, saying that they should be allowed to go outside and do that. And he talks of sensitivity of the cargo, he talks of safety, he talks of insurance, which is very important. We fold our arms and allow the those that are non-professional to come into the field and be causing chaos.
So he's still talking about the people practicing your profession, the uncoordinated ways of doing business, and the fact that it's an all commerce affairs, the effect it has on them.
Just like you said, some of these shipping companies who are majorly foreign owned are even coming into the trucking aspect of it. If government refuse to do the needful and coordinate the industry, what will happen in future? Because things are modernizing. The big companies, the foreign companies will take over the trucking, maritime trucking. Yes, because I know that MSC have their transport section very big, well coordinated. CPAS, which is a Nigeria owned, have their transport section. Massline, they also have their transport section. And many of these shipping companies, they are looking in that direction. And what happens is that they will chase the locals away by competition because they are bigger, they are more coordinated.
We used to have a company like Panalpina that was here.
Panalpina has gone. They are no longer in Nigeria. They've left. So more foreign companies will come and take over the industry. And we Nigerians will start complaining that foreigners are taking our business.
And that is where you guys have to get yourselves organized.
Just like you say, we'll try and write to government and see if government can help us organize, because we cannot do it on ourselves. We cannot do the regulation. We cannot put the... Yes, NUPENG was able to do it in their own sector. But more oil sector is a bigger sector, more
organized.
More organized.
Okay.
In this our sector, we need the help of government to organize it for us. If not, the foreigners will take this business for us. I'm saying it for sure.
Your parting shot, sir. We've run out of time.
Okay. Just to tell Nigerians that we need to work hard in the maritime sector, because maritime sector is a good mine. If you do it well, harvest it well, it will help Nigeria a lot. Countries like Singapore, it's maritime sector that's pushing them. Mm-hmm. So it can still do the same for Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Well, it's been a session of the Maritime and Border Show today on 90.3 Voice of the People FM with the little Tommy. Our guest today has been Mr. Kelvin Okechukwu. He is the chairman of the Kirikiri Truckers Association. I hope you have been well enlightened. We continue to bring you what happens in the maritime sector every Sunday from 12:30 to 2:30, and we continue to preach proper development of the sector so that all the potentials therein can be achieved, and then Nigerians will enjoy the resources that are, that's the maritime sector. That they exist there for the sustainability of the businesses and the nation itself. We are going to bring you another edition of the program by next week, so you stay tuned and have yourself a wonderful week ahead. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Mr. Okechukwu, for coming to the program.
Thank you, Dile.
God bless you.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.